Chapter 11. Chaos. Boom! Through the torrential rain, flames shot skyward, seemingly tearing through the downpour and dispersing the endless clouds. A deafening explosion followed. The restaurant had exploded again. Maria instinctively crouched down as the second explosion's flames lit up the sky. The ground shook, and the windows rattled violently, nearly shattering. Once the explosion subsided, Maria cautiously peered towards the tourist area restaurant. Only flames and thick smoke remained. Maria opened the group chat Versailles to see what had happened. Soon she found a video. The first video showed a portly man in a suit slapping an elderly restaurant worker repeatedly. Despite attempts by others to intervene, four burly bodyguards held them back. 3 minutes later, the elder was left battered and bloody on the ground. But it wasn't over. The portly man stomped on the elder's leg, eliciting a piercing scream. "If you hide food from us and feed us pig slop again, this will be your fate," he shouted, tossing a wad of cash onto the elder before leaving. The second video depicted chaos inside the restaurant. Fights, shoving, shouting, smashing, and screaming. It was clear some altercation over food had escalated. The third video was a selfie from the beaten elder, who had locked himself in the kitchen, turned on the gas valves, and lit a cigarette. "Thank you all. I don't want to hurt you. You have 3 minutes to leave," he said with a smile. "That old man is insane. Why drag everyone down with him? We're all going to die because of him. Why did I come to this place for vacation? The idiot who beat him should have just killed him instead of crippling him. Now we're all doomed. The moron who beat him is dead now. My daughter. Has anyone seen my daughter? Is there a doctor? Please help my husband. Someone help me. I'll pay $1 million. The restaurant's gone. Where's the food? We're going to die. Why isn't there any rescue? Have we been abandoned? Anyone have food? I'll buy it at a high price. Please, save me. I'm buried under the restaurant rubble. Help! The restaurant collapsed, burying hundreds. Help us." Maria's hands trembled as she finished watching the videos and reading the chats, understanding the cause of the explosion. The Versailles group had turned into a channel of curses and pleas for help. Especially those offering high prices for food were the same people who had thrown away the company's goodwill packages just days ago. They were still alive, having avoided the restaurant's crowd and its subsequent explosion due to their disdain for the food and the masses. Regardless of their fate, the restaurant explosion meant that the last bit of food reserves in the tourist area was gone. Even personal stashes wouldn't last long. This tourist area was doomed. Maria huddled under the window with her phone, questioning her decision to seek refuge here. She hoped these people would risk leaving without food, ensuring her and Lily's safety. But the memory of the burly man breaking in filled her with dread. Maria ran downstairs, drawing all the curtains and barricading the door with random objects under Lily's confused gaze. They couldn't let anyone know they were here. But after barricading the door, Maria remembered the risks of landslides and floods. If such disasters struck, their escape would be impossible.
No.
Maria quickly removed the barricades and instead added several more chains to the door, just in case. "Maria, is something wrong?" Lily asked worriedly. "The restaurant exploded. We mustn't leave the house for the next few days," Maria replied, peeking outside through a small gap. "Even if someone asks for help, don't open the door." Maria was terrified. If people could erupt into such conflict with food available, what would they do now that it was gone? The horrors described in countless apocalyptic novels and China's 5,000-year history of strife were coming true. Lily nodded seriously. Maria looked at the table, noticing the untouched beef. "Have you eaten enough?" she asked. "Maria, you haven't eaten yet," Lily replied obediently. She hadn't eaten her fill, fearing the food shortage after hearing about the explosion. "Don't worry, we have plenty of food here. Let's eat together," Maria said, adding the beef to the hot pot. The villa still had electricity, but given the landslides and explosions, it wouldn't last long. They had to cherish the utilities while they had them. The beef hot pot smelled delicious. Seeing Maria eat, Lily felt reassured and continued eating. Near the restaurant's ruins, in a low building with broken windows, many restaurant staff and tourists had taken refuge from the explosion. Faces were filled with sorrow, anger, and despair. One man stood up and shouted, "We can't stand by any longer. They beat that old man nearly to death. This isn't just bullying. It's a death sentence. We're trapped here. The outside is worse, and there's no hope for rescue. Soon those beasts will come for the little food we have left. Do you want to see your parents, children, and spouses starve? Or will you stand together to protect them and the food we have?" Chapter 12. Near the restaurant ruins, a man named Strong had gathered over 100 people. Some were hesitant and chose to wait and see, not wanting to join just yet. Strong, recognizing them as neighbors and colleagues, decided not to force them, but he made it clear that they would not receive aid or protection if trouble arose. Notably, Min, the security chief of the tourist area, took his 26 security guards and left after Strong's speech. Meanwhile, several small groups formed among the villa's residents. One group, led by Mr. Long and his 4 brothers, actively recruited members through the group chat. Another, led by a young, wealthy heir named Ocean, consisted of 2 friends, 6 bodyguards, and 6 socialites. A third group, headed by businessman Mr. Zhang, included 4 bodyguards, a secretary, and other tourists who had latched onto him. It was clear that these gatherings had ulterior motives. In a tourist area already ravaged by landslides, building collapses, and food shortages, everyone understood the gravity of the situation. Their mobile phones revealed a world drowning in torrential rains and floods. Reports of catastrophic events were rampant. A Mediterranean city saw water levels rise by a meter in an hour, submerging it completely within half a day, leaving 1 million people unaccounted for. The once arid Lop Nur had turned into a vast sea. Many coastal cities were submerged, with indistinguishable boundaries between sea and rainwater. Entire low-lying island nations had disappeared, claiming countless lives. With the world in chaos, the hope of rescue for those trapped in this corner was slim. Without rescue, there would be no food, and without food, they would starve. Action was imperative. After finishing their hot pot, Maria prepared a room for Lily and went to the 2nd floor. She kept a vigilant watch through the curtains, ready to act if anyone approached the villa. The memory of the burly man pressing his face against the window haunted her. Maria opened the group chat to stay updated on the tourists' Versailles group. The chat was filled with pleas for help, offers of high prices for food, and calls for medical assistance. "Anyone have anti-inflammatory medicine? Please save me. I'm buried under a landslide. I'll give $1 billion to whoever rescues me. Does anyone have food? I'll pay 2,000 yuan for instant noodles, 2,000 yuan for a loaf of bread. Only 2,000? I'll pay 5,000 per pack. Is there a doctor? My girlfriend needs help, please." Stop crying in the chat. It won't help. We'll all starve without food. Can anyone share their food with us? Damn that old man. He killed himself and doomed us all. Is anyone else joining Mr. Long's group? Join now and you're a brother. Join later and who knows? I'm not staying here any longer. Even if it means risking floods and landslides, I'm leaving. Staying here means certain death. Anyone want to come with me? Where do you think you'll go with floods everywhere? My place has no water or electricity. How about yours? Same here. What do we do now? Everyone. I suggest pooling our remaining food and distributing it collectively to survive this crisis. Pooling food? Did you see the restaurant explosion? What if another lunatic wants to take us all down with them? Who's responsible then? The group chat was a cacophony of desperation. Maria couldn't bear to read further. The tourists, who had once looked down on instant noodles and bread, were now willing to pay exorbitant prices for them. But who among the villa residents would have stocked such things? Maria's fear grew. The villas were losing water and electricity, and the restaurant explosion had wiped out the last of the food reserves. She had prepared too little for this apocalypse. Maria spent her days watching the window, hiding at any sign of approaching people. "Maria, I'll help you, Lily offered, joining her vigil. Meals were moved to the second-floor living room for safety. For almost a week, nothing happened outside the villa except for the relentless rain. The group chat remained filled with curses, pleas, and recruitment efforts, but no further conflicts erupted. It seemed everyone had enough food to avoid immediate strife. But was that really the case? On the early morning of September 13, 2123, at 3 a.m., a group of people armed with steel pipes, clubs, and knives emerged in the rain, heading toward the villa area. Strong led them. 2 days earlier, Strong had received information that someone in the villas planned to attack them for their remaining supplies. This enraged everyone. These were the people who had driven the restaurant elder to suicide and deprived them of food, and now they wanted to take their last chance of survival. This couldn't be tolerated. Strong and his core members decided to strike first. They swiftly broke into a villa, launching a violent attack. Businessman Mr. Zhang was killed on the spot. His bodyguards tried to fight back but were overwhelmed. Tourists who had attached themselves to Mr. Zhang's group were caught off guard, some still half asleep, trying to flee. 10 minutes later, those who survived surrendered. The battle ended with Mr. Zhang's side suffering 3 deaths, 6 severe injuries, and 2 disappearances. The rest were lightly injured. "Take all the food and let's leave," Strong commanded, swinging a machete down on Mr. Zhang's head. Blood splattered, but Strong was unfazed. "Elder, we've avenged you." He turned to the women cowering in the corner. "Take them too."